Okay, here we are. We're going to get ready to put in a set here. Jim's going to explain what he's doing this way you guys can see. We got a logging road this way, pan around here. There's Jim getting ready to make his set. We got a logging road that way, and we'll turn around, and that's the logging road I just come up on. So we got a three-way corner here that we're going to set this trap. So, okay, it's all you, Jim.
All right. Well, I tried to put in a trap here yesterday, and I tried probably about 20 different locations right here and could only get in a stake about that far. It's a great big hard pan rock top. Last year I caught a bobcat right here, and where Paul went down this way a little ways, maybe 100 yards from here, I caught a nice big female bobcat there. And out this way about 300 yards I caught another bobcat last year. All of them were different bobcats, 3 different sizes. So I brought in a drag today. As I was getting my stuff ready down by my truck, I found that log. That's probably going to be a post set. The only cheating I did, the things that I forgot to bring up here, was a little bit of peat moss in my kneeling pad, so I won't be able to kneel down. But what I'm going to, after I make the bed for my trap, I'm going to put grass in the bottom to try to keep the trap from freezing down. I'm just going to pound it in. Paul was calling there a pound down set, and then I'm going to cover it with grass, and we're supposed to get 3 to 5 inches of snow, so everything's going to be totally covered. The only thing that I did before Paul got up here was I set my trap. It's a number 3 Montgomery special offset, and the drag that I'm using, as Paul and I talked about earlier, Coyote drag with about a 5-pound window weight on it, so they ain't going very far. The bobcat I caught here last year, the trap was set right there, and he made it in there about 15 feet. And the chain wasn't as long as it is now, and the drag I had wasn't a coyote drag, it was a coon and fox drag. I didn't have any of these last year. But we'll commence making the set. I'm just going to put it right in here. The log is actually going to be pointing this way when I get done here. I find a little bit of high ground because it's pretty wet in here. So, and as you can hear, I don't know whether you guys can hear that. That's pretty solid.
It's a little bit different trapping methods we're used to down home. So you found a nice perfect trap bed there. Get it bedded in there.
Ain't too bad. It's kind of like almost a hay set that I'm using to put it in. A lot of times I will take this and bend it around and actually put it underneath my loose jaw to give it more stability if it's soft. But it looks like it's gonna probably stiffen up there for me pretty nicely, so yeah, definitely. Okay, I'll be able to push mud in around them. I don't need too much of it. It's just to keep it from freezing down.
That's where we generally use peat mosses in there on the bottom axis. The insulator so the trap can jump up and grab whatever critter that you're trapping.
Since I forgot my peat moss.
Yeah.
Because Paul and I, to get up here, it's about 1/2 to 3/4 of a mile walk uphill. Just like in the old days when we went to school, everything's uphill to get here.
Yep. When we go back to the truck, it's going to be uphill.
For the purpose of this video, anyways.
Yep. Kind of zoom in on that trap. See, he's got it nice and bedded in there, nice and tight. There it is. Now he's going to do some grass coverings. Jim carries a pair of shears that he'll trim some of that grass down in smaller pieces, and when he's done, you won't even notice that trap's there other than our boot prints hanging around there.
And all I'm trying to do is break up the outline of the trap. I've had some big coyote trappers telling me, well, the coyote can see that trap, he knows it's there. Well, if the trap doesn't smell like anything, how does the coyote know it's a trap? To him, all it is brown branches underneath the grass. As long as when he steps on the wrong spot, it fires. I try to get, these are Montanas, they probably have around a 3-pound pan tension on them. Most of my other sets, whether it's a 1 3/4 or a number 3, I try to run about 3 pounds of pressure on them because I want them on there and it's not going to fire until they've got their weight on it and their foot goes in. Like earlier there today, we had a bobcat caught, and I don't think his foot could have got any further in the pan. If it was a human being, it would have hit him probably clear about up here. So one of the things I do to make sure that they step where I want them to, I make the set for coyotes, but the bobcats come. There's a lot of bobcats in here. Last year I started out setting for coyotes, and I started catching bobcats right off the bat. I caught more bobcats last year than I did coyotes. I caught 9 coyotes, and I caught and released 11 bobcats last year. So, but I try to make them more like a walkthrough. The dog of this trap, or the dog of any other trap, I put it back here. The stump is going to go up there. All that is trying to force them, because I'd rather have them step on the far side of the pan where it's going to take less pressure, and their foot's, when it finally fires, their foot's going to go even deeper in the trap. Now this might stand out in the snow when we're done, but like I said, we're supposed to get 3 to 5 inches of snow. And if it's dirt and your spring and stuff is standing up, all you gotta do is pop it down in there. I'll just hide that a little bit. Actually, I'm going to turn that. Because right now the wind's going this direction, so actually no, I'll leave it that way it doesn't get drifted over. Gotta think ahead. Back just a little bit more. I try to keep it back probably 8 to 9 inches back, and I want it to walk through, because if it's a male or female, they're going to walk through here. Their front leg is going to go in there, or their back leg is going to go in there when they go to rise up. So and they're not pinched in, so they have no problem stepping on the inside of that or coming around that. All my lure is going to go on here. I didn't bring any regular urine. I brought mostly gland. I've got, let's see here what I've got. I've got Kitchell's multi-musk. That's what I caught the bobcat up in here last year with. I got bobcat gland, and I got some Mark June Smoky Post.
Which all 3 lures you can get at Trapper Paul's Supply House. Gotta get a punchline in for myself.
Hey, gotta do what you gotta do. Let's see here. Let me get myself up.
Zoom in on this set a little bit so you guys can see what we're talking about. There's the trap. You can't even see the trap, but you just see the grass. And there's his backing that he brought in to use for a post set. So here, Jim here. Some guys use gloves while they're luring. Some guys use bare hands. It's kind of a mix. On, you talk to one person, they stay clean all the way through the process. Pair of gloves to lure, pair of gloves to handle the trap. Cats are a little less finicky than a coyote, but they still use that nose pretty good. So I'm just putting in some.
Trying to get it out of the weather in case it was supposed to rain too, but I don't think it's ever going to make that today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to worry about that. And last year, besides the that multi-gland, I actually used mink gland.
He said, don't be afraid, try stuff. Mix it up, give them a smorgasbord of smells, anything to get your...
Catches their attention. Hey, who's in my area?
Yep.
And mink do smell a lot like cats anyways.
Yeah.
I'll put that one, put the gland down underneath.
One more ingredient and this set is complete.
Since I don't have urine, I'm going to give this a couple shots here.
Don't be afraid to use baits and lures. Don't go stingy.
Yep. Yeah, we've walked a long ways. We've driven a long ways. Yesterday, I didn't really think we were going that far, and I got a Toyota T100, and we walked this part, and I still used a quarter tank of gas yesterday.
Yep.
So, I'm sorry I don't have my pixie dust to throw on there to make the set complete.
Yeah. Zoom in on this and that's not a complete set there. You guys out there checking this out on JT Outdoors, that's what we're using. Primary sets are all flat sets with a post. We got a few dirt holes in, we got a few cubby holes in. Tomorrow I'll show you the cubbies that we got built, and we've been baiting them coon. Yeah, we're out coon carcasses. I wish I'd known that. I got a ton of them at the shop.
I've got one carcass left.
And we threw some muskrat in them. So
yeah, that's one thing I could say there. Up here, which was very strange, down on the one stream I have a bridge, and I was throwing coon carcasses on one side, and then beaver season came in and I had a beaver carcass on the other side. On the raccoon side, I caught 2 coon and 2 great big bobcats. Nothing ever touched.
Hey, there we go.
Okay.
Had you zoomed in too tight.
Okay. Nothing ever touched the beaver. They would grab pieces of the raccoon and walk right past the beaver. After season was over, I was coming up in here even in March. They were still feeding on the coon, and they never touched the beaver until I don't know when they finally finished the coon, and of course now the beaver's gone. But everybody else I talked to, that just blows them away that they were passing up beaver for coon. I actually had coon on the other side of the creek, and the fisher were feeding on the one side, and fisher season wasn't in, so I didn't worry about setting a trap over there. But the fisher were on one side, and the bobcats, and the coyotes had been coming in there, but once I started catching the coon and the bobcats, the coyotes didn't come there. But I caught 2. They were probably 25-pound, at least 25-pound bobcats off raccoons last year. So you never know. You could throw, if you got coon carcasses, we're in a clear cut. You know, make a big cubby, throw a couple of your carcasses in there before season, see if anything comes and feeds on them.
Thanks, Jim.
Yep.
There I am. It's like I said, it's pretty windy up here, snowing. Just wanted to show you guys a set here that we got put together. Got one cat catch today. Hopefully we'll get one tomorrow, or a fisher. At least maybe even a coyote. So the one area we got coyote, fox, bobcat tracks we seen yesterday. It's actually heading into a gravel pit. But we'll go down the hill, call it a day for checking before you go through a few more sets in. We've been running crazy and finally got a chance to start videotaping. So we'll see you guys on the other side. Bye.
Don't worry about the drag chain.